Hey guys, today we're going to talk about narcissistic rage and what that means. So, if you are with a narcissist, or if you're not sure, one of the easiest ways to find out is to tell them no. Polite, short, simple, no to something that they want. And typically, that's going, depending on the kind of narcissist that you have, that will either lead to passive aggressive manipulation or all out aggression. And when they rage, so they're both going to end up there depending on how many times you say no. So the overt narcissist is going to go straight to that. Like as soon as you say no, they're going to get upset and go rah. But the covert is going to be slower to show that side. So first they're going to manipulate and they're going to try all these different ways to get you to do it, do whatever it is that they want. And they will try a gentler hand. It's sneakier, it's involving other people, it's a lot of manipulation, a lot of backstabbing, a lot of things like that, but they're not up in your face from the get-go. But if you insist on calling out the lies or calling out, insist on the no, then eventually that covert narcissist is going to break and they're just going to explode. And they're just going to call you names. They're going to, it's going to be, you know how you can tell the narcissistic rage is different than just a normal fight with somebody because it's so over the top. Like the fight is going to be over, hey, you made me a sandwich, and you're like, oh, I'm running out to class right now, I can't. You're so selfish, and you don't know what you're doing, and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like really intense for the fight. And it's a lot of putting you down. It's a lot of shaming. It's a lot of shaming you. It's a lot of not addressing the issue that started the whole thing, but just attacking your character. I'm trying to think. I'm going to think of some examples of some narcissistic rage. So, okay. So when I was 18, I joined the Marines. And I had received a scholarship. And so I had awards for, I could go to school. And it was a lot. It was a lot of money for me. And I was given these certificates and I got these awards and things like that. So my dad was in a really bad place at that time, and he was drinking a lot, and he was very violent. And so my mom's like a super, super narcissist. My dad is too, but she takes the primary role. He takes the helper part. But anyway, so he was mad at me. He was just going around acting like a lunatic. So I called him out for it. And I was very angry, but I was calm. I remember being calm. And he got really mad. And I was just like, this is completely unacceptable. You're running around like what are you? Like, you're a grown man and you're acting like this. And so he just kept trying to be dramatic, but he wasn't getting drama from me back. So then he got mad and he went to my room, and I had a box of my things, and he just was very dramatic, and he got like the papers, started ripping all my stuff and started tearing down posters, and just was like, and he was just, the reason that they do it, like they're looking for you to be crushed, and they keep upping the ante. Like if you don't, like if they go around throwing stuff and you're not fazed by it, and then they get mad, and they really want to get a rise out of you. So narcissistic rage usually is in private too. So for example, if my dad is going rah, 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 and somebody knocks on the door, the neighbor knocks on the door, and then he'll be like, you're blah, blah, and he's cursing to somebody open. Knock, knock. He opens it, goes, oh, hello. And then, and we're like standing there, and he was like yelling at my mom. And then he was just like calling her names and stuff. And then he would look to my mom and say, "Oh, sweetheart, the neighbor's here. He would like to borrow a cup of sugar. We can handle that, can't we? We can take care of that. No problem." And then my mom would be like furious, and my mom wouldn't even pretend to be polite. Like I would pretend to, like I would be polite with the neighbor and not, cause a scene, but she'd be like, "Ah," and she'd just like run off. And then he's like, "Martha, oh my goodness, it's just a cup of sugar." So, but yeah, like that's the kind of crazy that happens in a house like that. So, I mean, I can laugh about it now, but at the time when I was young, I was very frustrated and I really wanted them to like step up and act like parents, but they were just drama, drama, drama and have these outbursts, and you just get used to it. But here's the point in that story is he's raging. He's completely out of control, or so it seems, right? But then there's a knock on the door and he's instantly calm and playing a part of a nice, calm father. So that to me tells me that he's not out of control. It's a choice. It's like he's putting on a show. And the point of putting on the show, instead of getting applause, he wants you to fall apart, or she wants you to fall apart. So the rage is, when they rage, they're really just angry because they want to rip you apart. And if you stay calm and you don't respond emotionally, then they're going to keep going crazier and crazier, and you're going to see how messed up it is. And so normally what happens is you fight with somebody like that. You don't know what's going on. You don't know that they're not playing fair. And then you start crying. And then they just like picture you like on the ground and they're just emotionally kicking you in the stomach because you dropped your guard or you fell. So when you emotionally crumble like that, they just go for the throat. But you're so upset that it feels like a normal fight. But you can always tell that it's narcissistic rage when you're quiet and you see them just go, you're like, "It was just a sandwich. Like, how are you so upset?" Or "It was just a blah, blah, blah," And it's so out of proportion. And so then that it has nothing to do with that pretext that they have for having a fight with you. They're just bubbling over with their own stuff. They just have to spew it on you. And if they spew it on you and you try to fight back and it ends up being this conversation, then it feels justified and then they feel satisfied. But if you don't play the game and you're just quiet and they just start raging and ranting and they make no sense. And it's like then they really start to get, lose their bearings. And they shouldn't expose themselves so much, but they do. Because they can't believe that they pushed your cry button and you didn't cry. Like, you must be broken. I'm going to keep pushing it harder. Like the remote, like, pushed it. It didn't work. Push it and you slam it. That's what they're going to try to do to you. But when you realize that they don't have that control unless you give it to them, I feel like if you stay nice and calm and you can see them, you're seeing that it's like justifying for you that all those doubts that you had on fights that went sour and went really bad, and you're like, "I didn't mean it like that." You didn't mean like that, and most people wouldn't hear it like that. But they heard it like that because they just wanted to fight. So no matter what was coming out of your mouth, they were going to fight. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. I mean, narcissistic rage is a really ugly thing. Picture it like a toddler, only in an adult body with access to cars and keys and a house and, money and access to all those things. But the toddler level, give me what I want. And if you don't, I hate you. Like, I'm going to set you on fire, like rage that the toddler has. That's about the same as their emotional maturity level. So anyway, don't take it personal. It's a really ugly thing. And It's terrible, and you're not the only one. So don't take it personally. You didn't do anything to cause it. There's no justification for it. They're just spewing out the poison that's inside them. So I hope you have a good night. I hope you find this helpful. As always, I'm always here to answer any questions or offer support in any way that I can. It's a really dark situation, but you can get out of it, and that's what channels like this and other channels are here to help. And I hope it does help. I found so much. I got my bearings back from videos like this and testimonies like this, and so those really meant a lot to me, and I hope that this video will lead you to others and get you on the path of out of crazy town. Out of crazy town. They're crazy, you're not. It's a sick, twisted game, and you didn't do anything to deserve it. Hope you have a good night.